Brace yourself, the feeling says it's coming. Everyone seems to see the signs. Brace yourself, can't you hear the warning? Don't be left behind. 'Cause it's rolling in like thunder, pouring down like rain. There's a fear of going under, and a bigger fear remains. After this day, you will never be the same. There's no going back from where you came. This is the day you will break the chain of hate. Baptized in fire, free of blame, forever changed. Changed. So save yourself, stand on up for your tomorrow. Say farewell to the ones that brought you here. Save yourself, 'cause maybe some will follow when the storm has cleared. And it's rolling in like thunder, pouring down like rain. There's a fear of going under, and a bigger fear remains. After this day, you will never be the same. There's no going back from where you came. Yeah, this is the day you will break the chain of hate. Baptized in fire, free of blame, forever changed. We're changed. After this day, you will never be the same. And there's no going back from where you came. Oh, and this is the day you will break the chain of hate. Baptized in fire, free of blame, forever changed. Forever changed. Forever changed. We are changed. Changed. Good morning. Good morning, Unity of Music City. I'm Vic Sorrel, and it's my gift to be here today with some wonderful musicians to provide music and message. And we have Ben Williams on guitar, we have Nikki Conley on vocals, Michael Inge on vocals, and I'll be singing a little bit as well. We're going to keep things going now with a song that I wrote about a decade ago now, and it's called Within. Would you jump into your freedom? If you knew you have a net.
Yes, I would.
Would you give yourself permission to live your life with no regret? 'Cause there is so much out there.
There is so much out there.
Glorious to see. And there is one decision, oh, one. Waiting patiently. I will be your witness. I will be your friend. And your dreams are my dreams, waiting to begin. I'm gonna hold your vision if you lose your way again. 'Cause I'm the one who knows you. I'm I'm the love within.
Love,
The sweetest love within.
love within.
Now can you look and see a difference? There is a difference in where you are and where you've been. You will feel we are eternal.
Eternal.
Once you see there is no end. And I will be your witness, I will be your friend, 'cause your dreams are my dreams waiting to begin. And I'm gonna hold your vision if you lose your way again, 'cause I'm the one who knows you. I'm the love within.
Love,
The sweetest love within.
love within.
I'm waiting here within.
Love, love,
I am the love within.
love within.
Cause there is so much out there.
There is so much out there.
And it's glorious to see.
Glorious to see.
And there is one decision, just one. It's waiting patiently. I will be your witness, I will be your friend, and your dreams are my dreams waiting to begin. I'm gonna hold your vision if you lose your way again, 'cause I'm the one who knows you, yeah. I say that I'm the one who knows you. I'm the one who knows you. I'm the love within.
Love, love,
the sweetest love within.
love within.
I'm waiting here within.
Love, love,
I'm the love within.
love within.
All right.
I'll get it together here. Okay, good morning. Glad everybody's here, either virtually or in person. And we have some announcements. Today's special music, Ben Williams on guitar with vocalist Vic Sorrel, Nikki Conley, and Michael Inge. We're moving, by the way. Soon, June 6th, will be there will be our first service in the new location, which is the Quality Suites on Elm Hill Pike. And you should be getting the emails that gave you the new address and everything. You may join the Lunch Bunch Book Club via Zoom every Wednesday morning at 11:30 a.m. They are reading This Moment is Your Miracle, Spiritual Tools to Transcend Fear and Experience the Power of the Present Moment by David Hoffmeister. Text Karen Burr at 931-581-6116 or see the weekly happenings email for more information. And that's all the announcements we have.
Good morning, everyone. Before we get into the sacred reading, I did want to say something about the chaplains. This year has been quite a tumultuous year, as we know, for everybody. And I know that everyone is aware of the chaplain program. We talk about them all the time. It's part of the announcements. If you have a prayer request, please email your request to uofmcrequests at gmail.com. I'm sure everybody is well aware of that. But it's all these faceless chaplains. I know by now you're used to seeing my face up here all the time. You all know me. I know you know me as more as the part of the executive council. But in case some of you have forgotten, I am the chaplain lead for the program. So it's not just faceless chaplains that these prayer requests go to. And I'm not the only one that runs the chaplain program. So I had Crystal put together who these chaplains are. And if I didn't have them, I wouldn't have a chaplain program. So I wanted to take a couple minutes this morning to say thank you to these people. From left to right, I have B. Leff, Richard Lake, Colleen Barber, Jamie London, Carolyn Bauer, and even though she's not part of the congregation anymore, she does drop in, and she's part of our group, but that is Cynthia, and she helps us out. She's kind of an honorary chaplain still, because as you know, once you're a chaplain, always a chaplain. B, as you know, she's the one that has done the sacred readings before, and now that the pandemic is over and people are getting vaccinated, I'm sure you'll hear her voice up here more, and we're looking to welcoming her back as she does her thing. Rich is part of the Healing Arts program and still sends his love, and please keep him in your prayers right now. He is experiencing some health challenges and could use your love and your support as well, because sometimes, you know, the chaplains experience their own strife. So as we pray for you, sometimes your prayers reciprocated are very, very useful. Colleen, throughout the pandemic, and also Carolyn Bauer, did still went on and visited people in their homes. So despite there being a pandemic, they still went and took food and still went to visit, because it's not just me out there. Hospital visits, going to see congregants, and those prayers still continue on. And then we had some other honorary people that aren't necessarily part of the chaplain program, but Margie Hart and Valerie White, who we tag team with the Healing Arts, were also kind of honorary chaplains this past year, who came and they offered their prayer, and they helped with the send Reiki and do those things as well that we buddied up with. And Jill Spearing is another one that I would like to help, because when I had a congregant in the hospital, she tag teamed with me to hold that congregant in prayer. So there's been a lot that's happened this year. So I just wanted to take a minute to kind of honor these people and say that it truly does take a village, and that when you send your prayer requests into that email, or you put your prayer request into that box, that is honored. We pray over those names for 30 days, and at the end of those 30 days, they're burned. We don't send them into Unity anymore, because, as you know, we've broken that affiliation. So I just wanted you to know, again, who these chaplains are that you send your prayer requests into, and again, to thank them and to honor them for their service, especially in this past, year and a half that we've been going through this. So thank you, chaplains. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your dedication, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work with these amazing people in the years to come. So without further ado, I'd like to get into the sacred reading. The affirmation this morning is grace. If you'll say with me, I share the gift of grace. Again, I share the gift of grace. I open myself to God's grace as I awaken my willing spirit and receptive heart. Through grace, I know kindness, benevolence, forgiveness, and compassion. My heart warms and my soul shines as I open myself to receive these divine gifts. Grace is mine to receive as well as mine to share. Every time I extend myself by lending a helping hand, I exhibit grace. Whenever I offer forgiveness to someone who has hurt me, I am sharing the gift of grace. When I slow down to listen deeply and empathize with someone, the space between us is filled with grace. Now, when I quiet my mind, I become receptive to the flow of grace that carries me on spiritual currents of divine love. And now I commend you to God and to the message of his grace, a message that is able to build you up. Acts 20:32.
Thank you, Amy. And now I just invite yourself to be comfortable where you are. Allow the seat to support you. Allow your attention to drop from your head to your heart. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself, I find God, I find God, I find myself. Just allow our breathing to become easy. And as we anchor into that breath, in this moment, love happens. Love happens as me. Love happens as you. Love happens because when all else falls away, love remains. And when this truth has our full surrender and our full attention and our full receptiveness, we breathe together and we know that all life does the same. One God, one love, and one life. All connected by one breath. And there is only ever one moment. This moment. This holy now moment. And as we breathe in the silence, love happens. Love happens as us. In the silence, love happens as us. And as we breathe, we are so reminded that one breath is one life, and that one love is our nature. One breath, one life, one love. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself, I find God. I find God, I find myself. And so it is. Amen. But before you go, we have one more song to sing. Such will be the case sometimes. We always want to skip over the forgiveness. Isn't that our nature? Right. So in this moment, we will enter into one of our enter in with one of our most powerful tools, and that is forgiveness. A song that was written by Kenya Walker, Stephen Nelson, and myself. A song that I use often, whether I play the actual track or not. The lyrics are always with me to remind me that forgiveness is always our invitation. I forgive the past and all I can take back. I'm better for the good times that we had. I'm open to this moment, letting go at last. I forgive the past. And I forgive the past past and the fear that held me back, and choosing less than I was meant to have. I'm open to this moment, letting go at last. I forgive the past. I can't go back there. I should know I've tried, but I can't offer my amends as soon as I decide I forgive the past. And I forgive the past and the fear that held me back, and choosing less than I was meant to have. I'm open to this moment, letting go at last. I forgive the past. I'm open to this moment, I'm letting go at last. I forgive, I forgive,
I forgive,
I forgive, I forgive the past. Thank you. Well, good morning. Let me switch over here. I can be a little bit more present. It's wonderful to see everybody. It's wonderful to be in the room without masks. That feels good. That feels wonderful. We look forward to seeing you all in the room again soon. Today, for our lesson, our message, our talk, we start with 1 John chapter 4, the Bible. How ironic. Which says, "My beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God. And everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. He who does not love does not know God, for God is love." Now, most people can get on board with that. God is love. We hear that. Love is God. And even the concept we hear more often that we are divine expressions of God, and you'll hear that in mainstream. It's not so much of a stretch for people to see themselves as a divine expression of God. But when you start talking to people about being loved, I am love. Whoa. I don't know what to do with that. But we said that God is love and that we are divine expressions of God, then therefore what must also be true? We are love. Children get this. When left to their own, children get this. And they naturally love. And they naturally play. And they're naturally well and happy. Because they haven't yet been taught that there's something else or some other way or through some other lens that they should see themselves. Or they could see themselves. They simply are, right? This is before it's socialized into us all of the bad things that we're capable of. And so we just show up for life. And a lot of times, before the age of 6, it looks like that. So many people will say, life happens. And a lot more will say, shit happens. But what is also true is love happens. Love happens when left to our own authenticity, letting all else fall away. Love happens. So when you talk about letting love happen, in spite of life happening, what's involved? Learning, unlearning, leaning in, and letting go. Learning, unlearning, leaning in, and letting go. It's in the leaning into our inclinations as love that everything else can truly happen, because when we lean in to our loving inclination, we show up. We're like this. We occur, we happen in the now present moment, the holy instant. We are simply love. So what's the opportunity for us then? To simply happen as love? Well, consider that in every acorn, there is everything it takes to become a mighty oak. And consider how, when left to nature, when we don't get in the way, what happens? Those acorns fall, nature takes its course, and oaks spring forth with time, with process. And I would argue as love, as the natural occurrence of love on this planet. Now, what's interesting today is that love has happened to me in my life in many ways and at many times. And I see now, looking back, that I have gotten in the way many more times. That my preconceived notions about what I needed to do or who I had to be had the tendency to block what love was trying to do. It's not a mistake that I was singing up here today. Singing is the first thing that I ever remember doing in my life. In my bedroom, stuffed animals lined up. I promise you. Now, I was probably singing Saving All My Love for You, Whitney Houston. That was about that time, when I was about 6 years old or so. But like these kids just love, I just sang. And I didn't think about pitch, and I didn't think about tone, and I didn't think about style, and I definitely didn't think about marketability and getting a record deal and all of that. I just sang. Love happens. And the people around me, they knew from an early age that I was a little bit different from the other boys, and therefore I was probably going to have a little bit of a different life than most of those boys. But love happens. This is my 8th grade yearbook. Love happens a lot of times through teachers, thank God. And Lynn Harmon is one of those examples. In my yearbook in 8th grade, she wrote something that I have anchored to and been almost pushed and pulled by. Vic, very seldom does a teacher come to admire, respect, adore, and love a student, but I do you. Your talents are 100-fold, and I'm excited about the future for you. Thank you, Vic, for touching my life. Frost said, I didn't know who Frost was. Frost said he chose the road less traveled and that it was the turning point in his life. You must do the same. Become the man you are meant to be, humbly but determinedly. Strive to be the best. Use your talents to bring joy to others. To teach others that life and loving and being someone is important. Vic, I pray only good things in life for you. But times will be hard and we all get troubled. But never more than we can handle. Life would be boring without a few rocks. Make music, my friend. And before I get too old, we'll grab a few more concerts. Keep a smile and dream dreams, but most importantly, make them come true. Love, Lynn Harmon. I wish I had a dime for every time I've fought in my life. Life would be boring without a few rocks. And Frost said he chose the road less traveled, and it was the turning point in his life, and you must do the same. Perhaps it's not mainstream yet. Perhaps we're all choosing the road less traveled. In showing up as love in a time on this planet where love is not the norm, where it's a little left of center, where it's not always our first inclination. Well, don't you think we should look at the data? Don't you think we should look at love? A Course in Miracles lesson 135 said, if I defend myself, I am attacked. And we've spoken in this room many times before about what we resist. What we resist persists. If I defend myself, I'm attacked. It's in our efforts to defend against what we're afraid of experiencing, especially when it's experiencing ourselves as our truth. Now, it was very intentional when I said earlier about how when forgiveness comes up, we're the first ones to step to the side and say, I'll get to that. Yeah. I just need some more time to be toxic. In essence, that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. When we withhold forgiveness, we so hold, let's put it that way, we so hold the poison. There is no better experience of ourselves than the experience of ourselves as the forgiver. That's the experience we seek. When we are able to forgive ourselves, when we know what that is, when we can walk that out, then this can be true for us at any age. Because what lives behind a grievance? A Course in Miracles says, when we defend against ourselves, we are adding illusions to illusions. I love this. Illusions to illusions. The first illusion is that there's more than one of us here. So if we defend ourselves, we're attacking ourselves because there's only one of us here. There's no one to defend against except our own. War, any war, is always war within. The second illusion, that anything real can even be threatened. Real with a capital R. Real in the eternal. Love. Only love is real. Love cannot be threatened. The third illusion, that I can ever be attacked at all. It's an illusion. And A Course in Miracles would say that when we defend ourselves, we add illusion to illusion. Think of the jobs we pursue when we're defending against being broke. Think of the relationships we enter into when we defend against being lonely. Woo. Think of the habits we engage when we're defending against feeling. we don't want to feel. Think of the gifts we won't receive when we're defending against having to reciprocate. I don't want to owe anybody. Think of the joy we miss when we're afraid to be seen. So for you, what happens? When you're invited, when you're wrong, when you hurt another person, when you taste success, when you feel tired, does love happen? Do you happen as love? Or do the things that you've learned show up and challenge that love experience? Well, I can't be tired. I haven't done anything. I shouldn't be tired. I shouldn't rest. They shouldn't have done that. When you're all alone, does love happen? Are you your own best source of love? Another teacher, one of the most powerful coaches I've ever worked with, Jory Martinez Woods, she's in St. Louis. She taught me that in any time of challenge, the most important thing to say is, how can I love myself more now? And not, which Wendy's drive-thru can I get to? How can I love myself more like the most loving parent, the most unconditionally loving parent that could ever be? In this challenge, how can I love myself more in this moment? Because it's not the falling down, it's the getting up. And even more than that, it's how long we stay down when we fall. And what depends, or what chooses for us how long we stay down, is what we find when we fall. When we fall, does love happen? Do we fall on a soft place that is the love that we are? Or do we fall on concrete, on our own harsh judgment, on our unforgiveness, on our unwillingness to see ourselves as the truth of the love we are? When we fall, what do we fall on? Well, you know, when you fall on something soft, first of all, you're more likely to bounce. But it's for damn sure if you fall on something soft, you're less likely to be hurt. You're less likely to be harmed, and you're more likely to get up sooner. And I think that's what life needs from us, is to get up sooner. It's okay to fall. It's part of being human. But let's fall on soft places. Let's be soft places for ourselves to fall. Perhaps one of my best teachers. Today is my sister's birthday. She's 51, fabulous years young. Perhaps the most important lesson I've ever learned, I learned from her. And she showed up for me in a way at a time that I was at a crossroads and my life could have spiraled down horribly. Remember, I told you that I wasn't like a lot of the boys. In my senior year of high school, the big rival football game happened. And law of attraction is law of attraction, and what ended up happening was I ended up going with 2 girls and 2 guys who would later come out. Of course. So we walk into the football game and we go to the student section. And somebody says, 2 rows back as soon as we come in, "Oh, we needed that. Now we can start. The gay brigade is here." Now I would turn around and I would say something probably different than what I did not say that night. But what I was thinking to myself is, my life is over. my life is over. I'm 17 years old. I haven't even done anything yet. I had never had sex at 17 years of age. I didn't even really know who I was in that way, for sure. Life knew. And so, for about a week after that, I was in a dark, dark place. And my sister knew. She may not have known why, but this is the most important part of the lesson. It didn't matter why. And so one afternoon, I went to her office, and she knew that I really needed to talk to her. So she said, let's go outside, sit in the car. So we did. And I told her everything that happened, and the tears just flowed, and the rain was falling. And it was one of those moments where I still remember the way that the inside of that car smelled, because it was such an important moment in my life. And what she said to me was, Victor, only your truth about you matters. What is true for them about you has no power in your life. It's what you think that matters for you. Love happened. In that moment, in that car, and in my life, because I had something to anchor to. I didn't know what she meant. And as a matter of fact, I remember looking back at her and saying, I have no idea what you mean. But love knew, and love had me. And so last summer, there was more than a pandemic that was keeping our family apart. And we weren't able to all be in the same space. But love, now we are. And my sister wrote this on July the 5th, 2020. And this to me is what we mean, not only when we say love happens, but when we talk about choosing the road less traveled, choosing the uncommon ground. A very deep sadness left me today. These are her words. A sadness that has been the source of all my unhappiness. The pain was incredibly strong, like what I would have imagined giving birth to feel like. It was fear, pain, and anguish wrapped in a heat ball of fire. And the after effects still linger, but I feel that my perspective is forever changed. I can see a path now, a path out of here, a path to a new life. In this life, we can go anywhere and do anything, and all our needs are met. We will carry a backpack. In it will be what we need to survive. All of our good thoughts, our happy memories, and our love are weightless. It costs us nothing to carry them. On the contrary, our fearful thoughts, our painful memories, and our doubts are massively heavy. It takes all our energy to bear that weight. It makes us so tired that we cannot enjoy our new freedom to explore this fresh life. But also in this backpack, we will carry our tools that help us find our way home, should we get lost. The tools that we have sharpened with experience and wisdom, the tools of laughter, compassion, and a good night's rest. These tools will help us build this new life on a strong foundation with a solid support system. We cannot go into this new life wearing old shoes. Our oldest pair the ones we keep in the closet because they were very expensive and we got them on clearance, they really don't fit. Got them on clearance? Think about that. They really don't fit. And they hurt when we try to wear them. Actually, when we really look at them, they're outdated and unattractive. Those thoughts. May we put on brand new shoes, load up our backpacks, and enter that life together. I love you so very much. And to me, that perspective is uncommon ground. Peace, love, forgiveness. Love happens on uncommon ground. We know how it feels to break down. We know how it feels to fight. We know how it feels to lose ourselves in the dark soul of the night. We've been disconnected, let's turn it around. A one love perspective is uncommon ground.
Uncommon ground.
Don't be afraid of how we're different.
Uncommon ground.
Don't be a stranger to change.
Uncommon ground.
Reach out for freedom with us right here and now. It's waiting on uncommon ground.
Love, forgiveness,
Oh,
peace, love, forgiveness.
look here. Anybody's mind can open, and anybody's heart can heal.
Anybody's heart can heal.
And anybody's past can be remade in one moment of truth revealed. Oh, we've been disconnected, let's turn it around. A one love perspective is uncommon ground.
Uncommon ground.
Don't be afraid of how we're different.
Uncommon ground.
Don't be a stranger to change.
Uncommon ground.
Reach out for freedom with us right here and now. It's waiting on uncommon ground. Oh,
appreciation opens the way
to the break of a brighter day, where love disappears and love takes a stand. Together we'll step up to that promised land. Don't be afraid of how we're different.
uncommon ground.
Don't be a stranger to change.
Uncommon ground.
Reach out for freedom with us right here and now. It's waiting on
Uncommon ground.
Don't be afraid of how we're different. No.
Uncommon ground.
Don't be a stranger to change.
Uncommon ground.
Reach out for freedom with us right here and now. It's waiting on
Peace, love, forgiveness.
Oh, it's peace, love, forgiveness. Everybody sing peace, love, forgiveness. You know it's peace, love, forgiveness, and it all begins with peace,
love, forgiveness,
it all ends with
peace, love, forgiveness,
reach out for your freedom,
peace, love, forgiveness.
oh, it's waiting on forgiveness. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you. So now I think we need to do our offertory and say together, I am open to receiving floods of financial abundance with ease, so that I may be able to give back even more to the world around me. So I just say a huge thank you from my heart to my friends, to my friends, to my friends, for sharing in the service today. It has been a special one for me, and I look forward to many more. Our vision for you, our vision for ourselves, is that as the first song spoke of, we are forever changed today. And in every new moment, in every holy instant, we have the opportunity to happen as love. So the next time you catch yourself, think to yourself, how does love happen as me? How might I be in this space that is the reflection of the love I know myself to be? Together, let's say the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. How about a little more uncommon ground?
Uncommon ground.
Don't be afraid of how we're different.
Uncommon ground.
Don't be a stranger to change.
Uncommon ground.
Reach out for freedom with us right here and now. It's waiting on peace, love, forgiveness. Peace, love, forgiveness. Oh, it's peace, love, forgiveness. Yeah, it's peace, love, forgiveness. We're waiting, peace, love, forgiveness. And it all begins with peace, love, forgiveness. It all ends with peace, love, forgiveness. Reach out for your freedom. Peace, love, forgiveness. It's waiting on forgiveness. Have a wonderful week. And so it is.